One day after Beijing confirmed the detention of a second Canadian, Ottawa is still defending the December 1st arrest of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou at the request of the United States.
Canada, in detaining Ms. Meng, was not making a political judgment. In Canada, there has been, to this point, no political interference in this issue at all. For Canada, this is a question of living up to our international treaty obligations and following the rule of law in Canada, and that is something which has happened scrupulously.
Washington wants Canada to extradite Meng and prosecute her for fraud for allegedly violating sanctions on Iran. She's now out on bail but required to remain in Canada. Monday, Canadian citizens Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig were detained in China, accused of jeopardizing China's national security.
The unlawful detention of two Canadian citizens is unacceptable. They ought to be returned. The United States has stood for that, whether they're our citizens or citizens of other countries.
Well, some question whether Beijing's detention of those two Canadian citizens in China was a response to the arrest of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou. Canadian Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland says in her conversations with Chinese authorities, there was no connection made. But U.S. President Donald Trump has connected the Huawei arrest to trade talks with China. Earlier this week, he said he might be willing to intervene in Meng's case if it helped secure a trade deal with Beijing. Freeland says no citizen's freedom should be used as leverage.
Canada understands that the rule of law and extradition issues ought not ever to be politicized or used as tools to resolve other issues.
Meantime, Canadians are expressing real concern about whether it's safe to travel to China, and Canada's tourism minister has canceled a trip to China planned for next week. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.